All right, get ready, because today we're going deep, really deep into the law of attraction. I know, you've heard it all before, right? Maybe even tried to manifest a few things yourself. But we're going way beyond the surface today. We've got this amazing interview with a real expert in metaphysics, and let me tell you, his insights, they're mind-blowing.
Yeah, he really goes beyond just thinking about something,
Hmm,
and it'll just come to you. I
exactly.
mean, the guy he's spent years on this, and his whole perspective is really something else.
Okay, so let's break this down. He keeps talking about vibration, but not just in like a general way, right? He's saying that it's our unconscious emotions that are really driving the whole thing.
Hmm.
So it's not even about like picturing that Ferrari you want. It's about actually feeling like you already have it.
Right.
But how do you even practice feeling something that you don't actually believe is possible yet?
Okay, well, that's where things get really interesting. He makes this comparison to the idea of karma, like action and reaction, but on an emotional level.
Oh, wow.
Our unconscious, all those feelings we have inside, they create this kind of a ripple effect, and it attracts situations and people who match that same vibe, that frequency. He calls it emotional karma.
Emotional karma. So are you saying that our unconscious can actually sabotage our efforts even if we're like consciously trying to manifest something good?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He says those childhood experiences, especially, the feelings of like, I don't have enough or I'm not good enough,
Yeah.
that can create these huge roadblocks, in our unconscious. He
Wow.
describes it like we're trying to sail a ship, but there's this giant anchor holding us back.
Okay, so how do we cut that anchor loose?
Right.
How do we even begin to like rewire those unconscious patterns?
Well, he doesn't really sugarcoat it.
Mm.
He says it takes serious inner work, especially healing that inner child.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about this technique called resignification. And it's all about looking back at those painful memories and understanding them in this new way, a way that makes you feel strong.
Can you give an example of like what that would actually look like?
Sure, he actually shared a story about himself.
Oh, okay.
He talked about feeling abandoned when his father left when he was a kid. But through resignification, he was able to see that it wasn't about him, you know. It was about his father's own issues.
Right.
And that shift, changing his perspective like that, helped him let go of that pain and rewrite that story he'd been telling himself for years.
That's really powerful.
Yeah,
So it's not about just pushing down the emotion, it's about actually changing the whole story.
exactly. He also talks about engrams, basically these pathways in our brain that get stuck in old patterns.
Hmm.
And resignification helps create new ones, rewriting the old story with one that actually empowers you.
Wow, this is making me rethink my whole approach to, personal growth.
Hmm.
It's not just about thinking positive, it's about going deep and dealing with those beliefs that we might not even be aware of.
Absolutely. And it's not like a quick fix either.
Right.
He uses visualization, guided meditations.
Uh-huh.
He even made these 24 CDs specifically designed for mental reprogramming.
Wow, 24 CDs. That's some serious dedication.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's really putting his money where his mouth is. But what about those things that society tells us are important, like having a great career or a lot of money?
Right?
Are those not valid things to want too? How do we even know the difference between what we genuinely desire and what society just kind of programs us to want?
Well, he actually talks about that directly.
Oh, good.
He said he woke up one morning and he just felt so happy for no real reason. He sees this as a sign that, the reprogramming is working. His unconscious mind is shifting to a higher vibration.
Okay.
And that feeling of joy, he says, that's a way better measure of success than any fancy car or big house.
That's interesting. We often associate money with freedom. Does he think that financial abundance is important at all?
That's a great question. And yeah, he has a really interesting take on money.
Okay.
He sees it as a tool to express freedom, not the source of it.
Ah.
He says if you chase money because you feel like you don't have enough, you're probably just going to push it away.
Oh, wow.
But if you cultivate this feeling of freedom and abundance inside yourself, money will just show up more naturally.
So, what does freedom mean to you? And how can you make yourself feel that way in your everyday life? That is such a good question.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if we're all chasing the wrong things sometimes, thinking those outward symbols are going to bring us happiness. So how do we like really uncover what we truly desire and separate that from what we think we should want?
That is a really powerful question to think about. And, this whole idea of matching our energy to what we really want is fascinating. But it kind of makes me think about the law of repulsion. You mentioned it before. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, for sure. He makes the point that just like, good vibes bring good things, negativity can actually push away success and abundance. He's saying we're always giving off energy, and the universe, it picks up on that. So if we're stuck in this loop of fear and doubt and all that, we're basically inviting those same things back into our lives.
Exactly. He compares it to like a radio signal. If you're tuned into a station that's all negative, that's all you're going to hear.
Oh, I get it.
But if you can change your frequency to one of positivity, love, gratitude, then that's what the universe will reflect back to you.
That makes me think about that whole fake it till you make it thing. Is there anything to that, or is it just kind of a surface level thing?
He actually had a really interesting answer to that. He said, just thinking positive thoughts, that might not be enough to really change your energy. But if you can honestly feel what it's like to have what you want, even if it's just for a minute, that's when you start to line up with its energy.
Oh, okay.
He believes real manifestation, it comes from your heart, not just your head.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about ignoring where you are now. It's about changing how you feel inside to match what you want to create. But how do we actually put this into practice? What are some things we can do to start aligning with our desires?
He really stresses taking action. It's not just about visualizing, it's about actually doing things that move you towards your goals.
Right.
But he also says you shouldn't force things.
Yeah.
If it feels heavy or like a drag, it's probably not in alignment. Real inspired action, it should feel easy and fun, almost like the universe is working with you.
So it's about listening to your gut and doing things that feel good on a soul level.
Yeah, exactly. He gave an example of this client. She was miserable at her corporate job.
Hmm.
She wanted to start her own business, but was terrified. So he told her to start small, just one thing a day that felt aligned with her goal.
Okay.
And as her confidence grew, she was able to quit and launch her business.
Wow, that's a great example of how doing even small things, the right things, can lead to huge results. Did he talk about any other ways to align your energy with what you want to manifest?
Yeah, he mentioned this practice he calls vibrational embodiment. It's about actually moving your body in a way that makes you feel what you want to experience.
Yeah.
So like if you want more confidence, stand up straight, shoulders back, smile, and picture yourself radiating confidence.
Oh, like power posing, but more than that.
Right, exactly. It's not just the pose. It's feeling it inside too.
Yeah.
He says our bodies are like these powerful antennas, picking up and sending out energy all the time. And when we choose how we move, how we hold ourselves, we can change our vibration and attract more of what we want.
This is really making me see manifestation in a whole new light. It's not about tricking the universe or making things happen. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts what they want.
I think you got it. He stresses that we're creating with the universe, not bossing it around.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a dance, a partnership, this awesome mix of energy.
This is so empowering. But I gotta be honest, I still have some doubts. This all sounds a little too good to be true? Does he address the skepticism that people have about the law of attraction?
He does, and he says it's totally normal to feel that way.
Yeah.
He wants people to be open-minded, to experiment.
Okay.
He says the law of attraction is kind of like gravity.
Huh.
It's always there, whether you believe it or not. But just like you got to understand physics to build a bridge or fly a plane, you got to understand the laws of energy to manifest what you want.
That's a great analogy. So it's not about blindly believing everything. It's about being curious, trying things out, seeing what works for you. Did he share any personal stories about times he's used the law of attraction in his own life?
He did. He talked about manifesting his dream house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a clear picture of it, even down to the specific garden he wanted.
Wow.
He spent time visualizing himself living there, feeling the happiness and gratitude. He also did things like researching properties and saving money. And within a year, he found a place that matched perfectly, even the garden.
That's amazing. Sounds like he's walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
What's his background? Did he always believe in the law of attraction, or did he come to it later?
He didn't really get into his personal journey too much,
Yeah.
but you could tell from how he talked about it that
Yeah.
he's been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just some idea for him, it's a way of life.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. His insights have been so deep and thought-provoking. This whole conversation is changing how I see what's possible.
Mine too. And it's cool how he doesn't act like some guru who has all the answers.
Right.
He emphasizes that everyone has the power to tap into this universal energy and create the life they want. He's just like a guide, Yeah. Pointing us in the right direction.
I like that. It's refreshing. He's not claiming to have a monopoly on truth. He's encouraging us to find our own way. It sounds like he's gone through some tough times himself, which probably helps him relate to his clients. Did he mention any specific challenges he's faced and how he got through them?
He did share a story about when he was struggling financially, almost gave up on his dream of helping others with his work.
Oh, wow.
He said he's tempted to just despair, but then he remembered what he teaches and really focused on visualizing, being grateful, and taking action.
Okay.
He also reached out to his community for support, and within a few months, things turned around.
Really?
He not only recovered financially, but he was also able to help even more people.
That's a powerful reminder about never giving up and the importance of having people you can lean on. It's good to know that even those who teach this stuff still have their own struggles, but they have the tools to handle them with strength and resilience. This has been such an inspiring conversation, and I really appreciate the expert sharing his wisdom and knowledge. It's making me rethink what I believe is possible in my own life.
I feel the same way. He's shown us that the law of attraction isn't some mystical thing.
Yeah.
It's a natural law that we can use to create more joy, abundance, and fulfillment in our lives.
Okay, before we wrap things up, I want to go back to money for a minute. We talked about it earlier, but I'd like to hear more about his view on financial abundance. He sees money as a tool for expressing freedom, not the source of it, but how does that help people who are actually struggling financially?
That's a really good question. He says the key is to change how you feel about money on the inside.
Okay.
If you approach money from a place of scarcity, like you're desperate, it'll likely stay away.
Yep.
But if you cultivate a feeling of abundance and worthiness, money will flow more naturally. He suggests things like picturing yourself living in financial freedom, being grateful for what you have, and taking steps toward your goals, even if they're small.
So it's not about pretending everything's okay. It's about shifting your inner world to match what you want to create.
Exactly.
It's about aligning your energy with the energy of abundance, no matter what your situation is right now.
You got it. He also encourages people to look at their beliefs about money. He says a lot of us have inherited these limiting beliefs from our families or from society. He suggests questioning those beliefs and choosing more empowering ones.
That makes sense. We don't always realize how much our subconscious beliefs are running the show, especially when it comes to money. Did he give any specific ways to change those limiting beliefs about money?
He did. He shared this technique he calls affirmation replacement.
Oh, okay.
Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative about money, like, I'll never be able to afford that.
Or, I'm bad with money, replace it with a positive statement, like, I am a money magnet. Or money comes to me easily and effortlessly.
That's simple, but it sounds effective. It's about consciously choosing to focus on what we want to create, not what we're afraid of or lack.
That's it. And he says repetition is important.
Right.
The more we repeat those positive statements, the more we reprogram our minds to believe them.
This is a great reminder that we have way more control over our thoughts and beliefs than we think.
Absolutely. He also encourages people to surround themselves with good influences when it comes to money. Find mentors, read books, listen to podcasts that are all about abundance and empowerment.
Yeah, that's so true. You become like the people you spend time with, so it's important to be around those who support your goals. This whole conversation has been so insightful and inspiring. It feels like I have a brand new understanding of the law of attraction and how to use it in my life.
Me too. It's a very balanced and practical approach that combines inner work with taking action.
It's not about shortcuts or magic spells. It's about consciously aligning yourself with what you truly desire.
I love that. This has definitely been a deep dive, and I know there's so much more to learn. We've covered so much ground already. But I think it's time to talk about some of the misunderstandings people have about the law of attraction. There's a lot of stuff out there. It's easy to get confused.
For sure. One of the biggest ones is thinking you can, like, control the universe with it. Like, we can just decide what we want, and poof, it happens.
Right. It's not some cosmic vending machine where you put in a good thought and a winning lottery ticket pops out.
Yeah, exactly. He says the law of attraction is about getting your energy aligned with what you want, but it's also about understanding that we're working with the universe, not against it. It's a partnership, not a dictatorship.
So more like a dance than a demand. We're collaborating with the universe's energy, not trying to force it to do what we want.
Yeah. Exactly. And that kind of leads into another misconception, the idea that we can just sit around visualizing and and things will just magically show up.
So we still have to take action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But not just any action. It's about taking inspired action,
Okay.
following those little nudges, those things that light you up and guide you towards your
It's
goals.
like finding that sweet spot where effort doesn't feel like effort.
You got it. And a big part of that is trust.
Hmm.
Trusting yourself,
Yeah.
trusting the universe, trusting the whole process.
Yeah, trust is huge, especially when things aren't going exactly the way you planned. It's easy to get discouraged and fall back into those negative thoughts. Didn't the expert say something about challenges and setbacks being part of the process?
Yeah, he did. He sees them as chances to learn and grow.
Mm-hmm.
He wants us to welcome the whole journey,
Ah.
the highs, the lows, all the twists and
It's
turns.
like those plot twists in a movie that make it really good.
I like that. He also talks about loving and accepting yourself as a crucial part of manifesting what you want.
It makes sense, doesn't it? If you don't believe you're worthy, you're basically putting up a wall that blocks good things from coming in. But self-love, that's a tough one for some people. Did he offer any advice on how to get better at that?
Yeah, he suggests starting small, little acts of kindness to yourself,
Yeah.
like talking to yourself with compassion, taking care of your needs, celebrating your wins.
Like treating yourself how you'd treat someone you really care about.
Right. And forgiveness is big, too. Forgiving yourself and others. Holding on to resentment and anger just blocks your energy and keeps you stuck.
Forgiveness can really help clear out negativity and make room for more good stuff. Did he mention any other practices that can help us get on the same wavelength as what we're trying to manifest?
He talked about something called gratitude immersion.
Hmm.
He says, set aside some time each day to just focus on what you're grateful for, big or small. You can write them down, say them out loud, or just think about them.
Gratitude's so powerful, it shifts your attention from what's missing to what you already have, and that raises your energy, brings in more good things.
Exactly. He also wants people to surround themselves with beauty and things that inspire them,
Okay.
like spending time in nature, listening to music that makes you feel good, reading inspiring books, being around people who lift you up.
Creating an environment that feeds your soul and makes you want to live your best life.
He believes that the more joy and wonder you have in your everyday life, the more you'll align with the energy of your dreams.
This has been such profound conversation, and I'm so grateful for the expert speaker's insights. It's clear he's not just teaching this, he's living it. And that makes what he has to say even more powerful and inspiring.
I agree. He's a great example of what's possible when you align yourself with the law of attraction and really embrace the journey of becoming the best you.
So to wrap up our deep dive into the law of attraction, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think he said it best. Our dreams already exist out there in the world. The question is, are we vibrating at a frequency to encounter them?
Those are some powerful words. So listeners, as you continue on your own manifestation journey, remember to keep your energy positive, take those inspired actions, trust the process, and never, ever underestimate your own power. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep shining bright.